Hope you're well. I've had a bit of a frantic, busy morning. The Tommy, I may not have told you, broke his toe on Monday. 2 days of carrying a child, which in fairness, I haven't done a lot of the carrying. But I have been sleeping in his bed at night because he wanted me to stay in his bed. Can you stay in my bed all night, Daddy? Yes, young man, I will. But it has wreaked havoc a bit with the deadline to getting the book, Your Exceptional Life, to the printer. I'm quite sure that it will happen today. But I got up this morning at 5:15. I just might put that down. Got up this morning at 5:15 to finish the About the Author section, or just to add a little bit to it. And Tommy woke up, I reckon, at 5:25. Wanted to sleep with Sarah Bear and Darby, who's in our bed, and Spencer. I woke them all up. And my beautiful wife said, babe, I think you should just go to the cafe. So I literally was in tracksuit pants and a hoodie, slipped on some runners, went down to the cafe, just holding my laptop, my mock copy, and my keep cup, and went down to finish that off. And then came back, had an 8 o'clock client meeting, a 9 o'clock client meeting. And normally I would come on with you guys at 9:15 most mornings, but not to happen. Been a hectic morning. I had Cale Brock and his lovely girlfriend Emma sleeping not on the driveway, but in their incredible camper van on our driveway, let's say. Last night had a late night wine with Cale and Emma, talking about the meaning of life, why some people do what they do and others don't. Today, after talking with you yesterday about the secret to an exceptional life, and say a little hello. If you're in the comments here, if you're watching this wherever you are on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, say a little hello, and my comments will come up and I'll say hello back to you. Nice to get a little bit of engagement going on. Today I want to share with you the weakness of our life, and we all have a weakness. I'll share with you mine in a minute. But yesterday I was telling the story of the lady that saw me proofreading this and didn't know that it was a book that I had written. And she said, so what's the secret to living an exceptional life? And really, as I said yesterday, there are 8 secrets. Hello to you, Helen Pocock. Thank you for your help yesterday. 8 secrets to an exceptional life, or a secret with 8 ingredients. But those 8 ingredients, which are your life purpose, your movement, your social life, your nutrition, your family, your growth, your wealth, and your spirit, soul, and faith. They're the 8 ingredients. You are not expected, and I have yet to find anyone that is absolutely exceptional by nature at every single one of them. There is a weakness in 1 or 2 or 3 areas, maybe even 4, that you just really, really, really struggle with. Just put that on flight mode. And that's not a bad thing. So today I'm going to share with you what my weaknesses are and how I actually deal with them. So I'll do the opposite of a good journalist, and I'll share the good news first. I think the best thing is to acknowledge where your strengths are. So I can tell you right now, life purpose is my strength. I've just luckily, thankfully, always loved my work. I always knew I wanted to be a journalist from about the age of 10. I knew I wouldn't be the next Gary Lyon. I knew I would be the next, I thought I was going to go down the path of being the next Bruce McAvaney or Eddie Maguire, or insert name of your favourite commentator. Worked in the media for 7 years. Hey, Liz, mwah, love and hugs to you. Worked in the media for 7 years. Fell in love with my now wife, Sarah. Got bitten by the health and wellness bug, which was my biggest weakness in personal growth. I would read all the books. I remember listening to Tony Robbins' Get the Edge, and I'd listen to Career, and I'd listen to Emotional Health, and I'd listen to Master Your Relationships. As soon as it came to Master Your Health, I was like, find me a cigarette and find me a Scotch and Coke. And it just wouldn't really click with me. It just was, and I'll talk about now, it was a weakness. And Sarah came along to fill that weakness, I suppose, or strengthen that weakness. So I was always lucky to be good at career, was good at social, struggled with nutrition and movement, was good with family, but had a lot to process in my family life. Like, again, it's not traumatic, but it is all relative, isn't it? I think my parents separating when I was 10, you do ask yourself a lot of questions, often with, again, the maturity of a 10 or 11 or 12-year-old. You know, why does this happen? What does it mean? And often you don't find the answers to those questions until you are a bit more older and mature. So I think a lot of my personal growth in my 20s was piecing together my family history, I suppose, much of which is shared as, let me go into plug mode, much of which is shared in the book, Your Exceptional Life. Again, this book isn't a memoir. It's definitely not. I do hate it. Hate's a strong word. But I do hate it when people tell you how to live an exceptional life without actually sharing any context of the challenges of their own life. So there is some context in there. Moving on to this growth, I've always been curious. I think if you're a journalist and you're not curious, there's something wrong with you. So I always love to learn. Wealth has definitely been a weakness, which I'll share in a minute. And spirit, well, I went to a Catholic school. I'm no longer, shall I say, like a to the letter Catholic, but I still forget the word. It's not agnostic. I'm just like, I believe it. Let everyone believe what they want to believe. So Buddhist, great. If Muhammad's your God, great. If it's a white guy with a beard, great. If it's whoever it is for you, if it's Mother Nature, if it's the universe, if it's Gaia, if it's Pachamama, I'm that guy. I'm like, do whatever you like, as long as whatever makes you feel good. But to weakness. My two weaknesses in the Exceptional Life Blueprint are, you won't be able to see this, that one there, movement, and the one more down the bottom, wealth. Now, I've struggled, and to this day, I'm way better at spending than saving. I have really matured in my values and importance of saving. People often ask, why do you have so many kids? I'm like, because they force you. It's like forced savings. They force a different behavior on you. Well, that's my answer. Anyway, that's just not the only answer why you have kids, by the way. But they definitely put the pressure on to be responsible, and my version of being responsible is to consciously create my exceptional life. But movement is something that I have always just it just hasn't come naturally. Let's put it that way. And I broke this shoulder training for a half Ironman, and I broke it 2 weeks before the half Ironman, and I was in mint condition. But there is something that I have struggled with. Hey, Wendy, mwah. Hope your IT, well, what, not your IT issues, the IT issues. It's funny, Helen and Wendy, who have been saviors with telling me that my pre-order page wasn't working so well yesterday. Thank you so much, girls. And to Meredith, who I spoke with on the phone with for about 20 minutes. She was my test tube baby to make sure if everything was working. Thankfully, we got there. But I was like, movement is something that just I've struggled to click with. I've been good at, not great at. And I don't have to figure out the reasons why. It doesn't really bother me. I don't have to put the pieces of the puzzle back together. But what I know is that with anything that is a weakness for you, the power of starting small is profound. So a current example for me in movement is I'm in a small Facebook Messenger group that includes Damien, Christoph, and myself, and 8 or 10 other people. And we are all in there to do 60 push-ups a day. Now, for some of you, that seems wildly big. For others, it's no big deal. It doesn't matter. But really, it takes about 60 seconds. For me, I do it in 2 sets of 30. And it's not the best practice of exceptional movement because it's only an anaerobic. It's only a muscle exercise, but there's no going for walks. There's no flexibility work. It's just a small metric. But I tell you what, I feel so good being able to go into the group. The group's called the Peck Majors, which is just a bad joke, isn't it? And I go into the group, and in messenger groups, you've got like an icon for the group or a little emoji. Now, emoji is like a little dartboard or a target, a bullseye. And it feels so good. You don't have to chat in there and say, oh, I feel so good. I've just done 60 push-ups. You just punch it in. And everyone knows that you've hit your goal for the day. And it's just a reminder of progress. And so if there's any area in your life that is a weakness, I encourage you to start small. I'll give you another example of wealth. So I share in the book of Sarah's and my debt demolition story. We got married 2009 and set up our business 2008. And after our honeymoon, coming back all loved up, not as a major surprise, but our credit card, by the time our wedding and honeymoon were complete, we had $55,000 in credit card debt. By the end of 2010, our debt had stopped climbing, but the interest payable meant we weren't making any inroads. Thankfully, we found a way to consolidate our debts and committed to paying the timeless wisdom of 20% of our gross income towards debt demolition. At the time, we were paying ourselves $2,000 a week from our business. From 2011 to 2013, we diligently paid $400 a week to debt demolition. When we sold our business in 2013, we had around $14,000 in debt remaining, which we paid off the proceeds from the sale. Now, I share that story in a bit more detail in the book because it's about starting small. Hey there, Pina. Hope you are well. Thank you for purchasing the book. That is so kind of you. Mwah. I've been really encouraged and enthused because I haven't put a lot of time or effort sharing the world that the book is out there. So to see the book selling so well just from a few posts and Facebook Lives is very, very encouraging. But our wealth story is very much of working out where were we in terms of our income and our expenses, our assets and our liabilities. Like clarity is everything, guys. Clarity is power, particularly in your weaknesses. It's great in your strengths, but you've already got it. Like in your weaknesses, you've got to know where it is that that the weakness lies. So for us, it's like, right, how much debt are we in? Using this example, $55,000 at about 18% credit card interest. All right, we are going to commit 20% of our income, and we are going to live simply. And we are just going to restrain from spending money that we don't earn. Because again, most people spend more than they earn and invest the difference. And I did that for many, many, many years. And I also share in the story that I had a great kind of habit of I'd read books. I'd read Richest Man in Babylon. I'd be like, yes, I'm going to start saving 10%. I would save 10% and I would get up to 10 grand, 15 grand, and then I would find a get rich quick day trading course and I would go and do that and then fall out of love with it within about 30 days. I'm like, gosh, when you realize, anyone here that saved money, you realize that saving money that's a muscle. That is a muscle, and it is a spiritual and emotional, some might even say a physical muscle to actually not reach for the thing that you want to buy. So I share this with you guys because in the weaknesses of your life, small wins are everything. Little wins, 10 push-ups, 5 squats, save $5, save 1% of your income, save 2% of your income. DeMartini's wisdom is to up your savings by 1% a quarter. So if you're saving 1 out of every $100 at the moment, up it to 2 out of every $100 in 90 days time. And a lot of that wisdom is because you won't miss a 1% jump. You would miss a 10% jump, but you wouldn't miss a 1% jump. So start small, guys. That's for strengths and weaknesses, but particularly if you're like, right, Marcus, I'm nailing my life purpose. I'm nailing my movement, but I'm not catching up with my friends. I've disconnected. You know what a small win is? Just call a friend. Phone a friend. As Millionaire Hot Seat would say, phone a friend. My dad at one-liner, socializing requires leadership. No one's going to call you. Do not expect people to call you. You've got to call them. People don't call anyone anymore. It's so novel. Give them a ring. Identify where the weaknesses are and then set daily little items. I have in my diary. Okay, so movement today. Movement, including push-ups, 30 and 60, because I do them in sets of 30 and 60, and I cross them out when I do them. So make it easy to win, guys. Easy to win. Make it hard to lose. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And I wish you a wonderful Wednesday. It would be remiss of me not to say, if you're only hopping on here late, pre-orders for Your Exceptional Life are well and truly underway. Thank you to everyone who has pre-ordered so far. I don't promote it because I don't really think it's cool, but I am going to personally sign everyone that purchases the book. I know some people say, Marcus, can you please sign the book? I'm going to do that anyway. I'm so grateful that you're going to buy the book. I interviewed DeMartini yesterday for the book launch. I'll release that episode in a week or two. DeMartini said this book is a masterpiece for creating a magnificent life. For Dr. John DeMartini to say that is it's humbling, it's very kind, and I really look forward to getting the kids involved and popping these in an envelope for you and sending it off, putting a love note in there and a sincere note of thanks and gratitude. Mwah. Love to you all. Have a wonderful Wednesday, guys. Thanks for your support. And I will drop in tomorrow for another edition of Your Exceptional Day. And until then, may the rest of your life be the best of your life.